Hi, Soccerbeat lovers. It's Peter du Toit with my man, Tsepo Masilela, ex-Kaizer Chiefs legend. And we're talking Kaizer Chiefs and another 3 points and another clean sheet. Guys, also don't forget to stay till the end of the show. We're going to announce the winners of the Kappa Prize winners. And that's exciting news for all of you out there who entered the competition. Tsepo and viewers out there, I think the big point that we want to go through here is the turnaround and the importance of this victory, in particular the importance of this victory. After the Amazulu game, Tsepo, you and I both said this is the game that could define the rest of Kaizer Chiefs' season. This victory, I think, and I don't know if you agree with me, we haven't had time to properly chat, is a defining point. It's a kind of a foundation, in particular, for the rest of the season, and I'll discuss that. And then we'll look at some subplots that sort of talk to this, and then we'll also flip it around, and there's certain issues that that Chiefs need to look at to change. So, Kaizer Chiefs fans, stick with us. A lot to talk about, and I think a lot of things that you'll find extremely interesting. So, first of all, the big thing about this game, Tsepo, I found, is that Chiefs played the most professional performance I've seen them play this season. They played their attacking football, but they kept shape. There wasn't big gaps between the lines. They kept shape. They were great going forward, but solid defensively as well. And really, for the whole game, they never looked like losing, except possibly towards the end. Yes, good opening start. But what do you think of that assumption? Or that appraisal, I should say.
No, Peter, I would agree with you in a sense of it's a very professional display. Listen, and their defense was superb once again. I think also against Pirates, they didn't give much away. They were just unfortunate, giving away that penalty. You come to the Amazulu game, they considered two silly goals which they could have avoided, the corner and the goal from Moremi. But I think defensively they're looking much better. And to be honest, Peter, the new signings, I'm not saying the older players they are bad, but when you get that slight upgrade, to what you have in the team, and you bring on three guys that are slightly an upgrade. Look at Thabo Cele, he was phenomenal in the midfield. He keeps it simple. It's simple yet effective. Sometimes you don't have to be fancy. You just have to be simple and effective. I remember Coach Stewart would say to the young boys, less fancy, more effective. He's that kind of a player. One touch, two touch. He doesn't do complicate things. And again, the new signings getting on the score sheet today. Header, again, assist from Serena back in the starting 11. And it also the pressure or the weight on the youngsters. It's a bit off their shoulders. I like this new the three guys that they've added in the team, the new signings, and again it makes competition in the team. And you look at their bench again, all of a sudden you can see them doing the bench. You can see a Vilagazi, a Blom, and they still have a couple of guys out injured. So definitely turning point, massive 3 points on the road.
So we can say with certainty, if there's such a thing as certainty in football, that there's definitely been a big shift from how the team was performing at the start of the season, which was basically going forward but not being able to defend. Yes, being a bit unlucky, but there wasn't that bite and that fight. They didn't look like a team that's difficult to beat. They looked like a team you could always beat. Now, this team, and it's been going since the Pirates game and the Amazulu game, yes, there were errors, but this game in particular, and Stellenbosch is the big one, they look like a team that's not going to be easy to beat, and they look like a team that that will attack you at every possible opportunity without leaving holes at the back. So I think that's the big takeaway from this. This is, as Nabi calls the process is not over, but it's now facing in the right direction. It's a positive process as a process that people had doubts about.
Then the project, Peter. Peter, it's the project, Nabi's project.
Incidentally, it's amazing what a miracle a victory can do away from home and a clean sheet. It can make a man speak English. He couldn't speak English. Now suddenly he can speak English. That's what a victory does for you. But anyway, moving on. Listen, we're fans of Nabi. We like the attack in football, but we obviously got to say things as it is. Talking about the new players, Lilepo or Crazy Horse as I call him, or Lollipop as a lot of our viewers call him as well, he's definitely lifted the whole team. And he's got something about him. I still can't believe he came from the 3rd division in France, but he's got something about him that when he gets the ball, things look like it can happen. And yeah, you got a right winger who scored a goal like a good old-fashioned centre forward. Up, bang, above the defenders. He actually came in. He wasn't standing waiting. Came in to attack the ball, by the way. So he attacked the ball, bang, back where it came from into the far post. That's the kind of header you'd expect from a centre-back coming up for a corner, or a good old-fashioned big centre forward like Pollen and Ludlow who could do that. So that's a winger. That's a big plus, by the way, for corners and free kicks and set pieces.
Yeah, definitely. There's games where it's tight games where you rely on your big boys to come to the party and win the games. And a well-taken header. It looks easy from outside or sitting at home watching on TV, but it requires like technique and the connection to direct the ball and power behind the ball to beat the keeper. So well taken header from him, and again it shows us that he's also a threat aerially, on set pieces. And yeah, man, he looks the part. He looks like someone that's been playing in our league for maybe 2 seasons already. That's how impressive I am.
2 other things. One, he could have had a second. He missed a chance in the first half where it was him and the keeper. But, these things happen. But we won't hit him for that right now. The other thing is that, just to talk to your point, he said in his after-match interview that he was actually watching tapes of Kaizer Chiefs for a couple of weeks before he signed. So that means that deal was actually done long before they announced it. But, that's a good sign of professionalism that he did his homework. And that's paying off. One thing I felt that where you can see that he's frightening the opposition, because straight as the second half started, a left back, I think, with Nduka, kicked him basically off the ball behind. Should have got a yellow card for that, in my opinion, or even a sending off. That was just a blatant a foul. And that means the coach said to them, listen, get stuck into this guy. He's causing us problems. So he's going to frighten a lot of defenders, especially left backs. Not somebody like yourself, but lesser left backs than you. Is certainly going to frighten. And that he's been a massive signing, and he's lifted the team, as has Mele and Morris. And Morris, what a fairy tale. Career coming to an end, basically out in the fields, eating the grass with the other old cows, other old bulls, I should say, and suddenly bang, the biggest club, was one of the biggest clubs in South Africa, playing in front of massive crowds. A fantastic story. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back and dissect this even further. We've got a couple of controversial things to go through with you, and also, guys, don't forget to stay at the end for the Kappa prize announcements. We'll take a short break. See you after this.
Hey, Taola.
All right, here we go.
Ko Betway ba tshepela hore o tshwantse o betjhe ka tsela e nepahetseng.
Ka nako e nngwe ho tlamehile hore o ikhule hanyane.
Ka nako tse ding
O ska leka go busha tše di lahlegilego.
Nakusasa kuse olunye usuku.
Dlala ngokusemandleni wakho.
Ge o tlhoka thušo re gona.
hopola, bet responsibly.
Welcome back, everybody. Tsepo, Masilela, Peter du Toit, Soccerbeat, talking Kaizer Chiefs. And I think the Kaizer Chiefs fans will all be talking this evening because that was a very thorough professional display. Everybody looked happy. I mean, even the Matwang family were basically down there celebrating with the players. I think we were on the table at the end of this game. Right. So something else that I think is a big plus and a very positive sign for Kaizer Chiefs is Sereno. Back in the team, playing as a 10. I want to come back to that, but there was an interesting moment I felt when there was a breakdown in play with an injury, and Serena and the coach were talking, and you could see there was camaraderie between them. He had his hand on Serena's head in a very fatherly fashion. At the end of it, Serena gave him a little tap on his belly, actually, and that was nice and touching because of the rumored poor relationship they've had. So having a Serena who's got the right attitude and feeling positive is a big plus for that team. And now they've got two players, attacking players who can cause a lot of problems. But 10, is that his position? I think he's way more effective wide left. He's a clever player, but what do you feel?
Yeah, we're all happy to see him back in the field. And today it was not the best of games from Serena. We've seen a much better performance of Serena. And yeah, first time playing as a 10. And normally we see him do operating in that space. But again, with the addition of Lilepo, in this Kaizer Chiefs side, and Pule Modi, he looks fit. He looks, the confidence is slowly coming back, and he's a threat, even though he still has to work in his final touch. So I think you'll have to compete also for the 10 position with the young do, and it's a healthy competition. But it was not the best of games. But obviously, the Amakhosi fans are happy to see him back in the field. And yeah, man, as a senior player, he has to lead the boys, and he has to be a good example to the young boys.
Let's jump to two other things. One, De Jong. I spoke last week where I said I think he'd be a great signing for Kaizer Chiefs. And I know we know his contract's coming to an end. We know that there's rumours of him Chiefs and possibly even Sundowns and so on, and even Pirates. But he's obviously always talking a good player becomes available. He didn't do much to enhance his reputation today, which is obviously testament to a very good performance by Kaizer Chiefs in keeping him, out of dangerous zones. What did you think of him?
Definitely, I would also give credit to the Kaizer Chiefs, not only the defense, but as you mentioned, how compact they were, and they didn't give much spaces in between the lines for him to. That's why he normally operates. He knows how to drop in between the lines and collect the ball, turn. But again, there still is the whole attack. I think they were a bit flat today, and they didn't really get to that fourth gear. The usual still is there. But again, well done to Kaizer Chiefs, man. I think they were brilliant. As a team, defending as a team and attacking as a team.
Correct. I think, and I want to talk about Nabi now, and I want to knock something off on the head that's been on social media. It got sent to me by quite a few of our viewers on my Twitter platform, and I think on the Soccerbeat Twitter platform as well. So I want to knock this on the head, and I'd like to hear other guys, other viewers' view on this and yours. But before I come to that, I want to mention I think this has been Nabi's best tactical performance. Him and his coaching team worked out Stellenbosch's style, and they basically nullified them. They had really one or two chances, especially one at the end, which I'll come to later. So big ups to Nabi and his technical team for getting it right, the game plan from a defensive point of view and from attacking point of view. Obviously started well with the goal. But something that's been on social media, and I got sent to me, and people are saying to me, listen, after 16 games, remember, this is before tonight's game. So after 16 games, they said to me, Zwane got 24 points, Nseki got 24 points, and Nabi was on 22 points. And Nabi's had 8 new players being given to him by the management. He didn't get, and he's got a full technical bench. And so these two South Africans who didn't get the same benefits of a full technical bench, all these new players, they were bombed out, and Nabi started worse than them. My point I'm going to make is that no disrespect to Zwane and Seki, but they're playing better football under Nabi, without a doubt. And you can see the team improving. Yes, there's been shaky moments. Your comments on this?
Peter, maybe it's a good observation, but again, it's still how many games played already. We can't really say Nabi out. It's not even halfway, through the season. And again, when it comes to style of play, listen, Nabi's team, we know they have a goal in them. It's
Right.
they hardly finish 0-0, and the fans, they want to see goals, even though if I still feel they've been unfortunate, or maybe some costly errors here and there. Listen, if the 3 games where they kept clean sheet, it would be 9 points, maybe better, but that's a different story. But again, man, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see where the Nabi team finish in the log. It's still. Let's sit down again and compare the points. Maybe after 20 games, and see where's Nabi and the previous coaches.
Look, as I say, I brought it on because so many people sent it to me and they said you got to address it in the show, and we obviously listen to our viewers out there. But I personally think it's not a fair comparison. Nabi's definitely improved the team. I don't think the team that he started with was as good as the team that Zwane had or Nseki had. But that's just a personal opinion. And I think this game proves that the process or the project is facing the right direction. And I think that there's a very good possibility that Chiefs will finish 3 or 4 at the end of the season. Let's take a short break, and then I want to address 2 things. I want to address, one, my concerns from this game that I'm sure Nabi will have a look at and sort out, because things could have gone wrong. But we'll come back to it straight after the break.
Golden liquid pouring, gold splashing, gold swirling, waves of gold foaming, cut to reveal more gold. It's easy to make a beer that looks gold, but to make a beer that wins gold, that's a different story. Carling Black Label, Africa's most awarded beer.
Welcome back. It's Tsepo, Masilela and Peter du Toit. It's Talking Chiefs, brought to you by Soccerbeat. And don't forget, guys, at the end of this, Tsepo will announce the winners of the Kappa Prize, the Kappa Prize winners. Right. So very positive overall. Good victory away from home, although it was a bit of away from home for Stellenbosch as well, playing in Athlone as opposed to Stellenbosch. But the one thing that concerned me, and I'm sure Nabi will work on this, and I'm sure Kaizer Chiefs fans out there noticed it as well, the last 15 minutes, it was a bit like an amateur game. Chiefs attacking, them attacking, Chiefs attacking, Stellenbosch attacking. And I just felt that's the time, and Chiefs started looking tired. I thought that's the time the team should have actually played a little bit more defensively. I know they're natural games to attack, but all that space sort of put them at risk. And there was a particular moment when the ball was played between the fullback who was caught upfield and Chiefs centre-back Dortley, and the guy put it past the post. That could have been 1 each, 2 points lost, and we're all talking a different scenario. So, Tsepo, you played in a back four. You played in a clever side that won league championships because, defending wins you league championships, attackers score your goals. I think Nabi should have, brought on Blom. I felt that they should have been a little bit more defensively there and played a bit smarter. But that's my opinion. Your thoughts? I mean, you've been there. You should know more about this than me.
Play smart, I think is the right word. But again, there's an opponent in front of you, who can cause problems at any given time. And if you look at the last 15 minutes, that's where, teams get to concede. It's critical phase of the game. That's when their concentration has to be. But again, when their legs get tired, and their mind gets tired, again, there's concentration tends to lapse a bit. You do have those moments, and they were lucky they got away in that moment. But as long as you don't have, many moments where you're losing concentration and the opponents get a sniff at the goal. And I think it was only that one moment, and I don't remember Bruce even making a save in this game. But it will happen because you have an opponent in front of you. But they could have maybe delayed, played smartly with position. There's many ways to delay. You have to use the ball very well. And when the opponent is desperate, you can just use it well to draw them out of position and let them try and press. And on your counter, again, you have to be, clinical and make good decisions. But again, at that time of the game, players are tired. But yeah, I think that moment, they could have done better.
I would just like to have a 6-man strategy, defensive strategy for the last 10 minutes of particular games. And you can hit it longer to your quick players because they've got so many quick players up front. You can then skip out your midfielders because the other team's going to be pushing forward.
And go direct.
Correct. That's the only thing I would change. I think he'd work on is more compact, 6 defenders plus the keeper. You're covering the whole space. You win it, bang. You catch them on the break. And that'll also be then have to not push forward as much as they would like. And also, last point before we go, that back four, I don't see him changing that ever. So they're going to have to work on their fitness as well. Because do you see them, if they fit, they're playing that back four. Maybe cross the left back.
They're playing, Peter. The 2 centre backs have been playing. They've played too many games together. And Ditlhokwe, man, I want to give praise also to Ditlhokwe. He's not known as being a left back, natural left back, but he's put in a great shift and solid performances. We have to give credit where it's due, and we know River is always there on the right. He's the one that's got a license to bomb forward. But again, solid display from the back four.
Good. Well done, Kaizer Chiefs. Well done, Kaizer Chiefs fans. 3 points in the bag. And well done, Nabi. Team's going forward. Tsepo, what everybody's been waiting for. Let's hear the winners.
Oh, the winners of our competition, we have Sharon Mutata, on Twitter, and we have @fire057. On Facebook, we have Itumeleng Gordon Malopa, and then we have Thabo Cele, almost Thabo Cele there, but we have a Thabo Cele from Facebook.
Fantastic. Well done, guys. Well done, guys.
Well done to all the winners.
Correct. And we'll see you soon. Cheers. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Cheers. Or today.
Big one tomorrow.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.
Soccerbeat, woza, woza.